Okay, good morning grade 2s. Today we're going to be doing something new and exciting. So we're going to learn about something which you did do in grade 1, but you only just learned about it. So we're going to see if you can all remember. So has everyone had a cupcake before?
Yes.
Okay, I want you all to close your eyes then and just imagine, take a second just to think about the last cupcake you had and what it was like, what it tasted like, what it looked like. Now I want you to imagine that you've made yourself your own cupcake, your own special cupcake. What does your cupcake look like? What color is the icing on your cupcake? How big is your cupcake? Have you made a tiny mini cupcake or have you made a giant cupcake? So now we know what our cupcake's icing is and how big it is. What flavor is your cupcake? Do you have is the actual cake a dark color because it's a chocolate flavor, or is it white because it's vanilla? So now we know what our cupcake looks like. Everyone can see their cupcake. Now I want you to imagine that you're smelling your cupcake. What does your cupcake smell like? Does it smell sweet? Is it a little sour? What does it smell like? Does it smell fresh? So now we've smelled our cupcake. Now I want you to imagine that you're having a bite of your cupcake. What does your cupcake taste like? And also, what does your cupcake feel like in your mouth? Is it hard to chew? Is it sticky? Is it soft? And then lastly, you're going to think, how does this cupcake make you feel? Did it make you feel hungry, excited, happy? Okay, now you can all open your eyes. Okay, so now you're all going to tell me a bit about the cupcake you imagined. Robin, what color was your cupcake?
It was
White. Okay. Was the icing also white, or was it just the cake?
yes.
So yours was white. Okay.
And then chocolate drizzle.
And a chocolate drizzle over it. Okay. Montana, what did your cupcake smell like?
It smells sweet.
It smelled sweet. Sarah, what did your cupcake look like? How big was your cupcake?
I had a tiny
A tiny cupcake. Okay. And Rose, what did your cupcake taste like?
It tasted like vanilla.
It tasted like vanilla, so it was nice and sweet.
Yes.
Okay. And Sophie, what did your cupcake feel like in your mouth?
It felt soft.
Soft. Okay. So now, all of those things you just said, you all just told me about your cupcake. So does anyone know another word you could say? You all just something's your cupcake. It starts with a D. Anyone think of it? Describe. Yes. So you described your cupcake. So do you agree all of those words you used were to describe your cupcake? So for example, if I tell them this clip and I want to describe this clip, I could say it is small, it is wide, and it opens and closes. That would describe the clip. So who knows what those words are called, those describing words? Does anyone know? Yes.
Say adjective.
Yes, adjectives. So adjectives are describing words. So adjectives describe our noun. Does anyone remember what a noun is from grade 1? A noun. Who can remember? Okay. So a noun is a thing. So for example, this clip is a noun. And then my adjective for the clip was white. So I say the white clip. White would be my adjective because it describes the noun. So can everyone say what an adjective is? Everyone say adjectives are describing words.
Adjectives are describing words.
Yes, and what are describing words?
Adjectives.
And what are adjectives?
Describing words.
Okay, so now we've just learned what adjectives are. Who can tell me what adjectives are? Again, it's here. Who can remember? We've just done yes, Montana. Describing words. Who can give me an example of an adjective they thought of for their cupcake? Think of one that you told me. Yes, Rose. Sweet. Yes, so that is an adjective. And that adjective is telling us how it tastes. Or it could also tell us how it smells. Because sometimes something smells sweet, or when you bite into it, it tastes sweet. So I want you to all think, how did we think of all of our adjectives? What did we do? What were the questions I asked you when we were thinking of adjectives? One involved your eyes. So what do you do with your eyes?
You see.
Yes, you see. So we use our eyes to look at things. So we describe what they look like. So remember I asked you what your cupcake looked like, and Robin, you said yours was white with icing because you had a vanilla cupcake. Who else can think of what their cupcake looked like? So how big, Mackenzie, you said your cupcake was tiny, so that's also how it looked like. So we use our eyes to think of an adjective for our cupcake. What else did we use? Who can think? What other questions did I ask? Yes, Mackenzie.
Maybe what it smells like.
Yes, what it smells like. So we also use our nose. And what did your cupcake smell like, Rose?
Sweet.
It smelled sweet. So that's because it is a sweet thing. So then it does smell sweet. Or you could say it smells fresh or it smells delicious. Because even though you can't really smell what delicious is, you know what delicious is, what it actually is. So we use our nose as well. So now we've got our eyes. We said our cupcake was white and it was tiny. Then we said our cupcake smelled sweet. What did our cupcake taste like? Because that's another thing we did. We used our sense of taste. So you can tell me what their cupcake tasted like, what they imagined it to taste like. Yes, Robin. Like chocolate. So your cupcake tasted like chocolate. So now we've got what our cupcake looked like, what it smelled like, and what it tasted like. What's another thing I asked you and we used? Who knows? What's another thing?
What it felt like.
Yes, what it felt like. And that can go from in your mouth when you bit into the cupcake. It could have been very soft or crumbly. Or when you were holding the cupcake. Was the cupcake heavy? Is a cupcake usually heavy? And it was, so your cupcake was nice and light. So that's another adjective for our cupcake. So, and then you can also say, how did that cupcake make you feel? When you imagined your cupcake, what were you feeling? Yes.
Excited.
Excited. So now we have our cupcake was white with icing. We have that it smelled sweet, it tasted like chocolate, and it felt light. So those are all adjectives. But now what did we do when we were thinking of these adjectives? What did we use? Who can tell me? What was the first thing we used? We used our
Eyes.
and then the second thing we used our
Nose.
and then we used our
Mouth.
and then we used our
Touch.
yes, your hands to see if it was light. And then the last thing we said was how it made us feel. So we used our heart. So those are all of our senses. Can you remember doing senses in grade 1? Kind of, a little bit. So your senses, remember, are your sight. So what you're seeing, what you're smelling with your nose, what you're tasting with your mouth. Then you can also say what you're hearing. On a cupcake, if our cupcake was hard, then you would say when someone bit into it, you heard a crunch. But we didn't hear that because no one actually bit into the cupcake. And then you can say what you felt with your hands and how it made you feel. So when we want to think of adjectives, it can be quite hard because sometimes you look at an object and you don't actually know what to say. So when you don't know what to say, then you're just going to think of all of your senses, and that's going to help you think of adjectives. You know we use our senses when we need help with thinking of adjectives. So remember the first one we did was how it looks. So we said your cupcake was white, it looked white, and yours was tiny, it looked tiny. So now if we look at our poster, this is all the things that are going to help us think of adjectives. So the first one is, what do you see? So this is when you were looking at your cupcake. So how it looks. Does it look shiny? For example, the queen was wearing such a shiny crown. Or is it bright? Bright like the sun. Or colourful like a rainbow. Dull like the t-shirt I'm wearing. So now can you all see that there's one missing? Can everyone see that? Okay, so now these are all the words and we are going to now put in all the missing places as we go through it. Can you see there's also a missing one here, there's all of the missing spaces. So all of these words we're going to go through and find the right one. So first the words are sweet, triangle, noisy, large, salty, beautiful, happy, and smooth. Does anyone not know what one of those words mean? Anyone a little bit confused? Yes, Robin.
What is beautiful?
Beautiful. So, if we want to describe something as beautiful, it's another word for pretty. So, the beautiful rose, the pretty rose. Does that make sense? Is that a bit better? Does everyone understand what beautiful means now? Is anyone confused on any other words, or can we try to think of the word missing word? No, so you can think of a missing word, okay. So, what do we see? How it looks. Do you think it could look sweet? Could it look triangle? Could it look noisy? Could it look large? This one's a bit of a tricky one. So, the object can appear to be large. It could look large. But if you look here, we also have what size is it? And large tells us the size of something. So, do you think we would put large by how it looks or what size it is? What size? Well done. Then we have salty. Can it look salty? Could it look beautiful, like the rose?
Yes.
Well done. So we would put beautiful there, because if we had to go to the other ones, it couldn't look happy and it couldn't look smooth. Now if we look at the next one, what size is it? Okay, Rose, come and show us what size it is. Come and pick one. We did say what it is. Let's see if you can remember. So you're going to look at these words and put it there. Yes. Well done, Rose. Okay, now what shape is it? So it could be pointy, square, round, or flat. We've all done shapes before. And if we look at something like our cupcake, what shape would your cupcake be? What do you think you would use to describe your cupcake? Who can tell me? Who thinks they know? Yes, Robin.
Round.
Yes, so your round cupcake. Because is a cupcake the shape of a square?
No.
So you would say round. Robin, can you come figure out what shape we have missing? Adjective for shape. Well done, thank you. So now we have everything under sight, so what we see. So remember, we're using our senses. So that was our eyes. So we have how it looks, what size is it, and what shape is it. So for example, if we were looking at Robin's bottle, and we wanted to give adjectives for what it looks like. So how it looks. Who knows what they would say here? What could you use here? You could use one of these. Yes, Rose.
Dull.
Well done. So Robin's bottle is a dull color. Then, if we want to say what shape it is, who thinks they know what shape this is? What could you call this? Anyone know? So it is round, that's it, but you could also say it is a cylinder. Does anyone know what a cylinder is? That would be like your bottle or Pringles can. You've seen Pringles. That is what a cylinder is. So that would be another way. Or you could just say it is. So we've got, it's a dull color and it's a round shape. What size would this bottle be? Is it a huge bottle? Is it a tiny bottle? Is it a big bottle? If you think of other water bottles you've seen, does this one look quite big or does it look small? What would you say? Because remember, it's what you see. So if you think this is one of the biggest water bottles you have ever seen in your life, you are going to say it is a big water bottle. But if you have a much bigger one at home and you think it's a small water bottle, you could say it's a small water bottle. Because remember, it's what you are looking at, what you are seeing. If we had to now look at the next one, so what do you smell? So remember we smelled our cupcake and we said it smelled sweet or fresh. So we have it smells fresh. Then we have it smells stinky, like if you've ever smelled your socks when you take your socks off. They are stinky. Then we have a missing one, and then we have sweaty. So sweaty is like when your dad gets back from gym and he's full of sweat. He doesn't smell very nice. So now we have one missing. Sophie, can you please come up and try to find which one you think it would be? Well done, thank you, Sophie. So we have it smells sweet, just like we said our cupcake smells. Now if we're moving on to more adjectives, we can see what do you hear. So sometimes you hear things that are very noisy, like if I keep scratching my sweet, it's very noisy. Or if someone asks you to whisper, then they're very quiet. So for noisy, we have it sounds loud. So when you're in the car and your mom's playing music, very loud. Or if you have someone quiet, like a mouse, we normally say a mouse is very quiet. Then, or you have soft, when someone's speaking very softly. Okay, Montana, can you come find the missing one for us? Well done, thank you. Okay, so that was what we hear. And now remember earlier I said, if you bite into an apple, what are you hearing? If I had to bite into an apple, who can tell me what they might hear? Yes, crunch. Yes, there we go, crunch. Okay, so now what do you taste? So something can also taste sweet. So we also say if it smells sweet, but something can also taste sweet. It can be sour, like we've had sour worms. Those are quite sour. Or something can taste yummy, like your mom made a yummy supper. Or you could have spicy. I don't know if any of you have ever had curry or something spicy, but that's when it burns a bit. It's quite hot. Sarah, could you come and try to find us the missing one for what it would taste? So does it taste smooth? Or does it taste happy?
Would it be salty?
Yes, well done. So it tastes salty. Has everyone had salt before? So that is what salty would be like. Okay. Now, this one. What do you feel? So that is when something is in your hands. So remember, imagine you had your cupcake in your hands. If you just had to squash your cupcake, what would you feel? What do you think that would feel like?
Sticky.
Yes, it would be sticky. It would be very sticky. And then it also feels light. It's not something heavy. So something can also feel light. Okay, so what do you feel? So it feels hard. Like the wall is hard. Or the table you're at is hard. Then you have something soft. Like your teddy bear might feel very soft when you stroke it. And then you have sharp, like the sharp edge of your pencil, or then a knife is very sharp, so often you get told you mustn't use a knife. So now we have one missing. Who thinks they can tell me which one's missing? Who knows? Yes, those.
Happy?
Happy. Okay, if we are happy, what does happy mean? Who knows? If you're happy, that means you're excited. So if it's your birthday coming up, you might be very happy about it. Or you get so happy at the end of school because your mom's coming to fetch you. So that is happy. That's just how we feel. So something can make you feel happy. Like when you ate your cupcake, you felt so happy. So if we want to see what do you feel, this is in our hands. So what does it feel like? So this is a different type of feel. This one is your heart, and this one is your touch. So how does the object feel? So what would you say, happy or smooth?
Smooth.
Yes, well done. But now if we go to how does it make you feel? So can you see how this one says what do you feel, and this one is how does it make you feel? So how does it make you feel? Does it make you feel sad? So if you watch a sad movie, then often you feel your heart is sore, so you are sad. Or there's something missing, and we have the last one, which is happy. So something makes you happy, like when your mom comes to fetch you from school, or you have it tired, when you're tired when you get into bed tonight, and then excited, if you are excited for your birthday party. So now we've thought of different adjectives, and we've looked at how you can think of adjectives. So now I'm going to see how much you actually learned. So we're going to have this hat. Can everyone see this hat?
Yes.
There's lots of ways you could describe this hat, am I right?
Yes.
So, the first thing we could look at is how does it look? So what do you see? So, Montana, when you see this hat, what are you seeing?
It's very shiny.
It's shiny, well done. Rose, what do you see?
It's colorful.
It's colourful. What do you see, Mackenzie?
It's, I think think that's pink. It's
Yes,
pink.
it's pink. And it's not what it looks like. But remember, you can also say what style is it and what shape it is. So Sophie, what else do you see if you have to think of those two things?
It's tiny.
It's tiny, okay. If you think this hat is tiny, you could say this hat's quite tall actually. Because it's not very wide, but it's tall. And yes.
Could you say it's a cone?
Yes, you could say it's a cone. So that's the shape of the hat. Now I want you to all pass the hat around and feel the hat. Feel the different parts of the hat. Okay. Who can tell me what they felt? Or who would like to tell me how they think the hat felt? When you did this, what part did this part feel like? Yes.
It sounds smooth.
Yes, the smells felt smooth. Sorry, felt smooth. And then, what does this part feel like? You can tell me. Sophie, do you remember what this part feels like? You can feel it again. What does that feel like? Comparing it to smooth, it feels quite?
It's not smooth. It feels
It's rough. Yes, it feels rough. So we've described the hat as being a cone. We've got a tall hat. You said it's a small hat. We have the fact that it was shiny and pink. Now we know that the hat is smooth, but it also has some rough parts to it. Yes, Rose.
Can you say that the inside is dull?
Yes, you can say that the inside of the hat is dull. Well done. That was a very good question and noticing. Well done. So you can say the inside's dull. Now, what do you think it would taste like? If you had to have a bite of this hat, what do you think it would taste like? Do you think it would be nice?
No.
Do you think it would taste sweet?
No.
Sour? Do you think it could taste plain?
Yes.
So it's just got a plain flavor. So if you had to bite into the hat, it would taste plain. How does the hat, if you could also describe how the hat makes you look. So if I put the hat on, what do I look? Do I look smart?
No.
Do I look happy? Or do I look
You look funny.
I look funny, there we go. So the hat makes me look funny. So there's all those adjectives that we just used for our hat. If we wanted to put one of those adjectives in a sentence, so now we've just named a whole bunch of adjectives, but now if we actually wanted to describe the hat to someone, could I just say pink?
No.
I have to put it in a sentence. I could say, the hat I'm holding is pink, or the pink hat. What else could you say? You could think of a little short sentence with an adjective. Yes, Montana.
Tall hat.
Yes, the tall hat. You're going to think of another one. Yes, Rose.
The silly.
The silly hat. Well done. Okay, now we're going to do a fun activity with adjectives. Has everyone had popcorn before?
Yes.
When do you usually have popcorn? Yes, Sarah.
At movies.
Yes, when you're watching a movie. Yes, Rose.
On my birthday.
On your birthday. There we go. So everyone's had popcorn. So now we know if you want popcorn, you need to go to Rose's birthday or go to the movies. And then you get lots of spices you put on your popcorn, hey?
Yes.
So some people like salty popcorn, some people like buttery popcorn. It just depends on what you like. So we're going to do a worksheet. Well, it's not really a worksheet, it's an activity that involves popcorn. So you're all going to get a page that looks like this. On our page it says, I can describe popcorn. So what do you think you're going to do? What are describing words again? What are they called?
Adjectives.
Yes. So you are going to think of adjectives for your popcorn, just like you did for your cupcake. So you are going to write your adjectives on these little popcorn kernels. You all know what the popcorn kernels are, okay? That's the part you eat. So you're each going to get 6 of these. So that means you have to think of 6 adjectives for popcorn. And you're going to write your adjective on your little popcorn kernel, and then you're going to stick it. So at the end you're going to have a full box of popcorn, and all your kernels are going to describe what your popcorn looks like, tastes like, smells like, feels like. So remember, we're using all of our senses. And the poster's still there if you need help. So I'm going to hand all of these out now to you, and then you can start. There we go, Marlon. Kenzie, Rose, Sophie, pleasure. And then you're each going to get your 6 popcorn kernels. And remember, so if you get stuck, you can put your hand up and ask for help. Otherwise, just use your senses and your imagination. Just remember what it smells like, what it tastes like, what it looks like. Just make sure everyone has 6. I think I've been around 6. Has everyone got 6 popcorn kernels?
Yes.
Okay. Well done, Robin. That's a very good one. How are you? Oh, well done, Montana. I also like my popcorn, like that flavor. Well done, Kenzie. I see some beautiful writing. Well done, you 2s. Well done, Rose. Well done, Sophie. You've thought of a lot already. Well done. I'm so proud of you. Thank you. Remember, if you get stuck, what do you see? What do you smell? Also, what does it sound like? Popcorn could sound like something when it's popping on the stove. What does that sound like to you? Or when you bite into popcorn, what does it sound like when you hear someone chewing on popcorn? But think about when you're making it. It makes those weird sounds in the pot. That's very creative. Well done, Rose. Yes, Sophie.
Can I say how popcorn makes me feel?
You can say how popcorn makes you feel, because when then you say a sentence about it, you could just say, when I was eating the popcorn, I felt, or the happy girl was eating popcorn. You could even be saying how you feel. You're feeling excited when you see the popcorn popping in the pan. Or you can even say the popcorn looks excited as it pops in the pan, because it's always jumping up and down. I'm seeing some beautiful writing. Well done. You're all pressing so nice and lightly and not hard. And remember, now I can see all of you are getting to the sticking part. Remember, when we stick using glue, we go around all the edges and you press down on all the edges. I don't want any flapping parts on. Okay. Robin, remember when you're sticking, look, it's flapping. You don't want any flapping. It must be stuck nicely. Otherwise, it's going to fall. When we stick it up in the classroom, it won't last as long. And we want everyone to see your beautiful work. So we want it to be nice and proper. Well done, grade 2s. Well done. Remember all the edges, and then you can press down nicely. And remember, when you're done, I want you all to write your name at the back of it, if that's okay. Actually, can you all write your name on your popcorn, because it's black paper, so you won't be able to see it on the back. So all write your name where it says I can describe popcorn, and then under write your name. Everyone should know how to spell their name. And when you're writing your name, what do you remember? What do you have to use in the beginning? Well done, a capital letter. Well done, these are all looking beautiful. Well done, Robin. This is Robin's, everyone. Everyone see Robin's? Well done, I'm so proud of you. I love your adjectives as well. Well done. Are you done, Sarah? Let's see Sarah's. And this is Sarah's. Well done, Sarah. I love how everyone's adjectives are also different. Well done, guys. You're doing so well. And now Sophie's finished. This one is Sophie's. Well done, Sophie. You're all doing beautifully. If you're not finished, I want you to start thinking of a sentence with your adjectives. So think of a sentence. Well done, Rose. That looks beautiful. Proud of you. Well done, Montana. This cookie is looking good. Well done. Well done. Okay, so everyone's stuck. Has everyone finished sticking down their popcorn kernels?
Yes.
Well done. Okay, I want to go around and I want you to tell me some of the adjectives you wrote. Robin, give us 2 adjectives you wrote down.
Fresh
Yes, well done.
and excited.
Excited, well done. Sarah, can you give us 2 adjectives you wrote?
I wrote yummy and salty.
So those both refer to how it tastes. Well done. Montana, can you give us 2 adjectives?
Crunchy and loud.
Well done. So it's loud when it's popping in the pot, and when you chew on it, it can be crunchy. So well done. Rose, can you give us 2?
I said white and big.
Well done. So you describe what it looked like. Well done. Sophie, can you give us 2?
I said small and happy.
Well done. So you said the popcorns are small and it makes you feel happy. Well done. So now if I wanted to say a sentence describing my popcorns using adjectives, I could say, I went to the movies and ate salty, delicious popcorn. So what are my 2 adjectives I used? Who can tell me the 2 adjectives? I went to the movies and ate salty, delicious popcorn. Yes, Robin.
Salty.
Yes, well done. What's another one? The other one might be a bit confusing. So, yes, Rose. 8, not 8. 8's a verb because it's you are doing something. But if I say, I went to movies and ate salty, delicious popcorn, what are the 2 words I'm using to describe my popcorn? Yes, Sophie.
Delicious.
Yes, well done, delicious. Because my popcorn is salty and my popcorn is delicious. Or I could say, I am eating buttery popcorn. So then what would my adjective be? It would be buttery. So I want you all to take a few seconds to think of your own sentence using as many adjectives as you can. If you can only use one, that is perfectly fine. As long as your sentence makes sense. Thinking of your sentences now, remember, an adjective describes a noun. Remember we went over that. So your sentence then has to have a noun. And a noun is a thing or an object. And remember our adjective goes before our noun. So, for example, my buttery popcorn. So popcorn is a thing. It is an object. So that is my noun. And my adjective goes before my noun. So mine is buttery because it describes my popcorn. Does everyone understand that? Okay, so everyone think of your sentence. When you have your sentence, you can cross your arms and wait patiently so I can see when everyone's done. Just so we don't leave any of our friends behind. Well done. Okay, Sophie, what is your sentence?
The salty white popcorn made me happy.
Well done. How many adjectives does Sophie have in her sentence? Who can tell me? So, say your sentence again, Sophie.
The salty white popcorn made me happy.
So we have the
Salty
and
white.
popcorn. So well done. That is 2. And then you also have happy, which is describing how you feel. So you use 3 adjectives. Well done. Sarah, can you give us your sentence, please?
I had crunchy, yummy popcorn at the movies.
Well done. Who can tell me what her adjectives were? Who can knows what Sarah's ones were? How did she describe her popcorn?
Crunchy.
Yes, crunchy and yummy. Well done. Montana, can you tell us your sentence?
My salty popcorn was crunchy and yummy.
My salty popcorn was crunchy and yummy. Who can tell me the adjectives Montana used? Which ones did she use before the noun? She used salty, yes. And then she also used another 2 adjectives. Well done, Montana. Robin, can you give us your sentence?
The fresh popcorn made me excited.
The fresh popcorn made me excited. How many adjectives did Robin use? Who can tell me? How did she describe her popcorn? What word did she use before the popcorn? Fresh. So there's 1. And how did the popcorn make her feel? It made her feel
Excited.
So she used 2. So everyone's given me their sentence, right? Oh no, Rose, you haven't given me your sentence. Please tell me you're seeing movies.
When I went to the movies, I had a big.
Well done. So when I went to the movies, I had a big popcorn. How many adjectives did Rose use? Who can tell me? Sarah, give it a go. How many do you think she
I
used?
think she used one.
Yes, and what was the adjective?
Big.
Well done. So now everyone knows about adjectives. Who can, if everyone actually tell me what is an adjective? It is a? And what does the adjective describe? And where does the adjective go? Well done. Well done, grade 2s. We've done learning about adjectives. Now everyone knows what an adjective is and you can't forget. Robin, can you please collect all the worksheets for me? And then you all can pack up your desks and it's going to be break time soon.